Grab your maps and charts, we're going exploring. This is our review of Wayfarers of the South Tigris.
Wayfarers of the South Tigris is a worker dice placement, set collection game where players collect cards to map the land, sea, and sky. And I had a lot of fun navigating these uncharted waters.
Through a couple plays, this was my new favorite game. However, we discovered something that can drastically change your enjoyment factor of the game. We'll tell you all about it after this quick how to play. The game is played in turns, with each player either placing a dice, placing a worker, or resting on their turn.
Throughout the game, players will add tiles to their caravan, which will determine what each number on their dice is worth.
Players can place their dice on land and sea cards that require certain symbols to be activated.
Players can also place workers on different spaces in order to activate other actions on their turn.
Players can also rest on a turn, which allows them to take special actions and to reset their dice for the next turn.
Players will focus on advancing their marker on the journal track. The first player to reach the end of the journal track starts the endgame.
Each player takes one more turn and then the game ends. The player with the most points wins. Before you go off mapping the stars, go ahead and click that like and subscribe button.
All your likes and subscribes really help our channel grow, so thank you.
This is another game from Garphill Games and Shem Phillips. They did the West Kingdom trilogy, which has some of my favorite games, especially Architects. So I was really excited about playing this one, the beginning of a new trilogy of games. This one's Wayfarers, and it's all about mapping the land, mapping the sea, and mapping the stars. And I really enjoyed this game, especially the first few times I was playing it, when I was learning it, and then playing it to get used to it, and then playing it with the group. I really loved all the mechanics about this game. I liked how everything worked together. I like how you're taking the land and sea and sky cards, and you're making a tableau with your cards to be able to place your dice, but you're also making a panoramic picture with the different cards so they all connect so that you have a nice landscape view. So I thought the theming all worked together. I thought all the mechanics flowed. When I was first playing this game, I was introducing it to everybody, we started playing it. It was a 10 game for me, and I was really excited about this game.
The brand of Garphill or Shem Phillips or whatnot, it's great. So I was really excited to see, okay, what's new, what's not new, what's kind of the same. Looking right at it, Kenny already mentioned it, but just building out your little panoramic view of everything, your land, your sea, your sky. I thought that was really cool, and it just really stuck with the theme of like you're traveling around and navigating everything. I kind of expected a lot of this, like, okay, a lot of symbols that you got to kind of remember, but still reminiscent of the other games too. However, some new ones that you got to do. Really did have a lot of fun with this, and definitely want to play it some more.
This one is a dice placement game, but it's also a worker placement game. So you have two different mechanics going on. On your turn, you can either place your dice or you can place a worker. The workers are placed on different cards, which have different action spaces on the board. So when you place a yellow worker on this card, you can get 2 money and you can get some influence. When you place a blue worker over here, you can get another tile for your caravan. So I like the worker placement element. But what I really like was the dice placement, because I'm not a huge dice rolling fan. Kenny, why would this have been a 10 game for you if it involves dice rolling? Well, because you're kind of mitigating all your dice, and you can almost make it so that no matter what you roll, you're able to do what you want to do. So you have the caravan, and you're going to place your tiles in the caravan, and those will tell you what symbols the numbers are going to represent. So if you have it lined up correctly, each number could represent the symbols that you need. Or you can also do certain things that'll let you add or subtract the number. So a 1 could be a 2, or a 2 could be a 1 or a 3. You could do different things like that. So eventually you really build on that. And that's kind of the engine building of your dice placement. So it's not just rolling and your dice are always worth something and you're placing it there. Here you get to choose how you want your strategy to be, and you get to mitigate the dice depending on what your tableau is.
So not only does the land cards, the sea cards, the sky cards, not only does it kind of build a picture for you, but it also gives you things. So it's engine building, right? But then what I really like about this game is that the journal track gives you more of a race to the finish, or I don't know, you can just kind of see your progress a little bit more. I felt like having that there, it always reminded me like, hey, make sure you race to the finish, get there before everyone else. So that encouraged me to try and pay attention more to the different cards and collect what I needed.
So there is a lot going on in this game. There's the dice placement, the worker placement, you have the journal track, you're trying to be the first one there. Being the first one to finish doesn't mean you're necessarily going to win. It just means you'll get more bonuses along the way that could help you win. But you don't have to finish the journal track to win. It's whoever has the most points. It's a lot of things from their other games kind of combined into this to make it one nice game. However, there was one game when we were playing, after a few plays, and I was like, oh yeah, this game is awesome. And then you finally hit that one time where it's like, it doesn't break the game. However, However, it brought the game from a 10. I want to say at the point of playing, if you were to always play it this way, I'd say the game would be a 5. If you're playing with someone who either knows the strategy and is trying to block everybody else from being able to do anything, or doesn't know the strategy, it's their first time playing, they may not know any better, they may think the meeples are worth a lot of points or something, they may not use their workers. And if they don't use the workers, other people can't get the workers. Because how it works is when you place a worker, other people can pick up that worker to be used later. Or if people get the card, they'll get that worker. But if you're hogging the workers and there aren't any workers on here, you're limited to only your dice placement, which can then become really repetitive and you're losing half of the actions that you're capable of because you can't take any of the board actions. When that happened, I was like, oh no, it didn't break the game. You're still able to finish the game. It's just gonna make it go 100 times longer and be a lot more boring. I'm sure there's a way to fix it. I haven't really thought about it because I was kind of disappointed once I realized that. And I was like, I don't want it to totally be a buzzkill on this game because I really do enjoy it if it's played how the game designers intended it to play.
With all the options of the dice placement or the worker placement and the different symbols of rewards that you can grab, like there's just so much to do that there's definitely going to be some analysis paralysis. Just go forward, explore, have fun with it. I mean, I tried to do that. However, it got so much my first playthrough that I definitely wasn't capitalizing on a lot of things that, I could have.
Yes, there is a lot to think about while you're playing this game. There are a lot of options, so it will have analysis paralysis. Even people who are normally really quick to play will still be like, wait, a lot's changed. Like maybe someone put a worker down that changes your strategy. Maybe someone took a worker. Maybe someone put some influence somewhere. Now you don't have enough money for that item. So it's not a game that, oh, let's play through this real quick a couple times. No, this is okay, we're gonna play it once. It's gonna take a while. We're gonna play it correctly. We're all gonna enjoy it, but it is a long game.
Overall, it was definitely on brand with the artwork and just the different symbols and iconography and everything. So I really enjoyed they kept consistency with that. The way this new game plays and everything, I also really enjoy it too. I'm really excited to see where this trilogy goes and where the new games tie into this little universe or world. With that, I'm gonna give it a 8.
Overall, my score is going to have a caveat at the end. I really enjoy this game. Like I was saying earlier, when I was first playing it, I love this game. It's going to be one of my new top 5 games, I would say. However, once someone started hogging the workers, and I saw that that could either be a strategy or that could just be a mistake that someone accidentally makes. So you go into the game not knowing, is this game going to be fun or is this game going to be long and boring and I'm not going to enjoy it? So that's the caveat. If this game is played correctly, if you're playing with people who know how to play the game and have agreed to not hog the workers, I really love this game. It's a 9. I'm going to enjoy it. However, if you're playing with someone for the first time and you don't want to give away, don't hog the workers, or you're playing with someone who you know will hog the workers, game is probably about a 6. And that was our review of Wayfarers of the South Tigris.
What'd you think? Are you ready to map out this board game? Let us know in the comments below.
And if you're enjoying our content, please like this video and subscribe to our channel.
Until next time, I'm Lee.
And I'm Kenny. I go party like a board gamer.